Good evening, well, technically now good morning. It is Tuesday, January 4th, 2022. Green first post of the year. Happy New Year to all of you. How's everyone doing? Obviously, this is kind of, you know, it's really sad how it's a meaningless game for the Jets on Sunday afternoon. And you're thinking, okay, how much are the Jets really going to get their butt kicked by Tom Brady and the Todd Bowles defense and everything else that has typically plagued the Jets for these last how many years? So yesterday they put up this, take it to the bully, standing up to the bully effort to the point where they're like the better team the whole game. They're outplaying Tampa Bay. They're the third-ranked run defense in the league. This is the same Jets who last year, played the number one defense in the LA Rams on the road and went there and beat them. And of course that angered a lot of fans because, the Trevor Lawrence thing and you know how that goes. But you're talking about yesterday, okay? Now, the Jets had they won yesterday, this would have been 5 wins. Now, imagine, had they won yesterday like they should have before, the irresponsible play calling, and we'll get into that. Imagine 3 of their 5 victories would have came against division winners. And it makes you wonder, against all these other mediocre teams that beat them, where was this kind of effort? Now, listen, I'm not one that is about progress. I don't care. I'm about the final score. Which is why what ticks me off about some of these Jet fans that are on social media saying, oh, well, they fought to the end. I saw a lot of progress. I did all this and that. Guess what? They lost 28-24 in a game that they led 24-10 late in the third quarter. People like me, I was afraid that something like this was going to happen. The only question was how and when. Now, progress, forget it. They should have won the game yesterday. 24-10. I don't care who it is. You had a chance, culture and everything else. You had the chance to beat the defending Super Bowl champions against one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, against one of the top-ranked defenses in the league, and you don't do it. You choke in the final 2 minutes of the game. This defense, which has bled all year, finally puts up one of their best efforts of the season. And what happens? 58 minutes! They led basically most of the game, and then the final 15 seconds of this game, the only time they trailed. And what happened? What happened? I mean, how? This is typical Jets. They play their tails off, and then when the game matters, in the waning moments of the game, and it's a close game in the defense, they were a yard away from doing this last week against the Jaguars. Luckily, the Jaguars are the Jaguars. But the Buccaneers, oh my goodness. Seems like they really rallied around Antonio Brown and the antics he pulled yesterday. But oh my goodness. I mean, could this be any more discouraging? I mean, I understand the season's over. They got one more game next week in Buffalo. But of course, it's not going to be about the defense, mostly. It's going to be about everything that happened in the first 58 minutes of the game. The Jets being the better team, taking it to the Bucs, running it down their throats like crazy, and everything else in between, and missing their top 3 wide receivers, missing, how many of the offensive pieces. They lost George Fant, their best offensive lineman. They've, how many guys are down right now on either the COVID list or they're straight hurt. And yet they stood up and we're like, whoa. And how overmatched, I mean. But here's the problem. So, of course, all of that gets tossed out the window, coming down to 2 minutes and 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The Jets are faced with a 4th and 2 ahead by 4 points.
what do? Some people say play conservative, kick the field goal, it's, make it a 7-point game. The smart call was to go for it on 4th down and 2 yards. And the way the Jets have been running the football, you would think that they would just go, let's get these 2 yards. For all the gimmicks the Jets like to employ with the jet sweep and everything else, you would think that they could get those 2 yards, catch Tampa Bay off guard, get the 2 yards and finish the game. Tampa Bay, no timeouts. No way to stop the clock. If the Jets bleed it out, get it to 2 minutes on the clock, the game's over. But for some inexplicable reason, I don't know if Robert Saleh or Matt LaFleur or any thought like it was 4th and inches or 4th and 2. What are you doing calling a quarterback sneak? You want to put after the game, Saleh saying the play was intended for a reverse or what, a sweep to Braxton Berrios, who, by the way, now the rumor is they're in contract extension talks to this point. But, you put it in his hands and how good he has been. It's like you get that he in all likelihood gets those 2 yards. Now, you don't know, but you get the 2 yards. 6 feet. The game's over. That's the wise thing to do. Why are you altering the play at the line of scrimmage? Or whatever it was, whatever miscommunication happened. Like, how do you not see that? Like, it's like, why would you do that? The play call is the play call, okay? You go with it. You put the ball in Braxton Berrios' hands like you were supposed to, and take it from there. Okay? That was the play to be called. Why change it? You're going to try quarterback sneak 4th and 2 into the teeth of that defense? What are you, crazy? Are you crazy? And you knew right there, any Jet fan knew right there, once they didn't convert it, once that did not happen, you knew right then and there they were screwed. And that Brady was going to march 93 yards right down the field, timeouts or not, 2 minutes and 12 seconds on the time, and he was going to do it so calmly and coolly, which is exactly what they did. The Jets playing, the prevent defense, guard the lines, keep it in bounds. It didn't matter. And then, of course, and to make it worse, it wasn't even like it was like a 15-yard touchdown. No. The game-winning score happened from 33 yards. Austin Riley got late to the guy. I forget what his name is. He was off the practice squad. I forget what his name is. But, he got there a little too late, and he's able to get right on into the end zone. 15 seconds, game over. And then on top of that, they go for 2. So to make sure, that the Jets would have to go the length of the field in case something, God forbid, were to be tried. But let's face it, nothing was going to happen. But it's such a disgrace. It's games like this which kill you. If this was, I understand the game meant nothing. It's another lost season. But if you want to change the culture, you want to think the team's on the rise. And the talent is getting there. It's starting to come together with who we're getting, and it's showing that we could, play with, go toe to toe with some of these bigger teams, despite not having God knows how much of our core there. Yeah, you could take it that way, but the bottom line is we had a 24-10 lead on our field. Now, granted, there was a whole sea of red as anticipated, but you all know they're there for Tom Brady. They don't know who. Really? Were they Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans in the years of their creamsicle uniforms? Or their first Super Bowl back in the early 2000s? Were they? Because, people just root for the players sometimes. That was a lot of sea of red in there. Insulting to watch, that's for sure. But whatever. Nonetheless, this has been most Jet games anyway. And I really thought the rate that they were going, I said, man, this must have really set them off. But, I'm not going to lie. They look like a team that's playing for each other. And, a lot of these guys, they're showing something. They're happy to be in the league. And it's, the talent is there. They're getting it. I can't take consolation in the fact that they stood toe-to-toe with the Bucs. I'm sorry. I cannot take consolation in that. Yeah, it's, unfortunately, the fact is the way they lost supersedes the fact that, the game was close. If they were down 28-10 and fought back and lost 28-24, it would feel like it's, but at the same time, I know it's like, hey, they gave it a fight. The bottom line, they had a 2-touchdown lead in the game and let it get away. That's what that pisses me off. So I'm sorry, like I can't take it like that. They blew the lead. They blew it. They lost. I mean, what can you say? Yeah, they almost beat Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady has made a fortune killing us all those years when he was with the New England Patriots. There's no, explanation. There's no, need to rehash that. But it's like he goes to a different team and it's the same crap. I tell you. Typical old. Every time Tom Brady loses, he wins. And Robert Saleh said it in his press conference yesterday. It's like we won the game. And unfortunately, in statistics, we didn't win the game. But we were 6 feet away from winning the game yesterday. And we didn't do it. We lost. And it hurts. It feels like it feels like you just got kicked square in the nuts. That's what it feels like. So, so for any of you that takes so much pride and saw progress in saying, oh, we took Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champions to the brink like that. No, stop it. Just stop it. We didn't play 60 minutes of football. We didn't play, when it mattered the most, we didn't do it. Okay? So stop with these moral victories. Stop with this and that. Stop with, the quarterbacks making progress. Yeah, we have seen a different Zach Wilson than we did in the first half of the year. We've seen it all. No, I'm tired of this nonsense. The fact is, we didn't win the game. We lost. And, the scoreboard said the Buccaneers 28 and the Jets 24 in a game where we led 24-10 late in the third quarter. I don't take consolation in that. I'm sorry. We lost. I'm pissed. That being said, I'm going to sign off for now. I'm going to say peace out here. Getting on a late food run. Got to make Mrs. happy. Anyway, that's all for now. Deuces. Next week in Buffalo for the season finale. It is actually now a 4:30 start because Buffalo has the division to play for. Anyway, alrighty, folks. Deuces for now. See, hopefully, if I'm up to it, I will talk next week.